Welcome back to Werewolf the Apocalypse, everyone. Rage across New York! We are raging against the worm, right? Isn't that what we're doing? Yes, we are.
Nobody said the worm.
I said the worm now. The worm is...
Yeah, the worm.
Yes. The enemy.
We hate that.
Unless you all want to go dancing the black spiral.
Why not?
You could do.
How do you do that? Would you roleplay us as Black Spiral Dancer?
What was that?
If we all decided to portray Gaia and become Black Spiral Dancers, would that like be...
Wait, who's we? Who's we? I'm gonna stop you right there. Who's we?
That would make for a very weird story from here on out. It's not impossible to play the crossover, but it gets weird. Very weird.
Where actually is the Black Spiral? Does it exist on Earth, or is it like in
it's in Scotland
or in Alpheus or something?
It's Umbra.
Yeah, it's in the Umbra.
Yeah, it's both in the Umbra. Yeah,
absolutely.
It's basically evil ass worm hell dimension.
Yeah, basically.
And the second you go in there, you just go crazy.
No, because you need to dance the Black Spiral. So
not the second, but like as you go deeper in it.
Yeah, you go more and more crazy. Yeah.
Basically, yes.
Like you can go like about. I think you're not really corrupted unless you do like you go at least one level down. So you can like go at the entrance.
You can get dipped in there a little bit and just be washed off.
Yeah.
They call the first level the dipping zone.
Yes, that's clearly what they do. The dipping zone. Yep.
Yeah. This is a fact. It was revealed to me in a prophetic dream.
Yeah, it has to have been. Yes.
I don't know why Gaia told me that, but she did.
Gaia tells you so many things, doesn't it?
A lot of things I don't want to hear, but I'm forced to.
I was thinking about things, of course.
They're liberal. They'll tell you it's called some other bullshit. It's not.
You know what? I have a feeling that we're gonna have a Solstice Moot. Yes, a Solstice Moot. With all the Garou present. I mean, there's gonna be a lot more than just these. We know that there is like, what, 50 Garou or something? In the Central Park cairn.
This is a large gathering.
It's a large gathering, absolutely. But I'm gonna put some of them down here because, you know, we should. You've met Spotlight before, haven't you?
Maybe. Probably. I mean, I could see like True Strike maybe having like a passing like conversation, like small talk, you know, be like, hey. But beyond that, I mean, probably not.
Probably not. I mean, you and Quarterback, you're.
Yeah, that and also, you know, the pack mates.
Well, there's going to be a lot of packs here because if we're going to have a summer solstice function, a winter solstice. I feel like. What was that?
I feel like no, like my pack. I feel like Jake would mostly like it'd either be Quarterback or you know, his group, pretty much most of the time. Since Quarterback's the only other get here, and well, the pack is the pack, man. You know.
Yeah, but I mean, at a big moot like this, you have a chance to talk to members from other packs and what they've been doing, and you have a chance to bond with Garou in ways that, I mean, last time you had a big meeting with other Garou was at Valkenburg Foundation, and that was a much smaller gathering than this one. So
I think it's Solstice, is it? Oh, it's Christmas.
Okay, now
Solstice, is it?
What was
Because
that?
it was
Yeah, Solstice is Christmas.
the last time it was Thanksgiving, so it's Christmas solstice. So like 3 weeks have gone by.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
All
Sorry.
right.
Just.
All right. I feel like Jake, what with his pack composition and also just the way he lives, probably knows is more familiar with glasswalkers and bonars. So we'll instead actually talk to maybe Spotlight here because what tribe is he from?
Spotlight. He's the only Red Talon.
Oh.
Yeah, I feel like I might as well, expand my horizons, talk to someone from a tribe I'm not as familiar with.
From an absolutely insane tribe. I mean, yes.
I mean, to be fair, I can't judge him too harshly with all the neo-Nazis in my tribe, so...
That is a fair point.
And vice versa, so... Yeah.
That's weird. I'm just seeing like True Strike's picture.
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah.
It's taking up like a lot of space.
Yeah, I know. Boom, fixed it.
Is there a guy named Bareback? Seriously?
Yes.
I mean, I'm gonna go talk to him and ask him what's his deal.
Why he's called Bareback? It's because he walks around barebacked. He is in fact completely nude.
Holy
Okay,
shit.
I'm gonna find out what his deal is.
Holy shit, yeah, no, for real. We need to know more about this bareback fella. And just so you know, Jake will pester you for information afterwards.
Okay.
Right. Where did he go? Okay. Bareback. Yeah, Howard Core. But he's known as Bareback. That's his Garou name. Yeah, he's a very quiet person. He is a Galliard of the Stargazers, actually. And as such, well, he doesn't have much to say. When you're coming up to him, he is in fact naked, completely naked, and he'll be looking at you as you come up to him. And he'll be bowing towards you, because by now I think you've all surpassed rank 1, haven't you?
Have I? I don't know. I think
maybe
I'm
maybe
still...
not Skidders, but the rest of you all have, definitely.
Yeah, we've gone through some shit.
Maybe
he'll
Skidders
just-
has done some off-screen stuff in the 3 weeks and got that promotion.
No.
No, okay. I just was throwing the name out there.
It's a good attempt, but
So I'm going to ask him. Oh, let's start a conversation with this dude. You spend much time in New York, Mr. Bareback?
he will answer.
Is that a yes or a no? This is a social event. Why are you here if you don't want to be sociable?
You're getting a lot from this guy. Why don't we have a roll here? We're gonna roll your Skidders here. You're gonna roll your. Let's give you back some willpower as well. There's lots of people who need to get some willpower back, and health, arguably.
Yeah, well, it has been 3 weeks, so we should have.
It has. Yeah, that's what I'm doing here. You're all much better off. Have I forgotten anyone? True strike? No, you're good. So, Skidders, I would like you to roll Charisma Persuasion, perhaps? Or Wits and Insight, I think, would work very well here. In other words, you need Themis, but Themis might be off, talking to others
Well,
at this point.
no, well, Skidders is kind of charismatic and kind of persuasive, so I'll roll charisma persuasion. I'm trying to get him to socialize with me, trying to persuade him. Like,
Yeah.
whoa, I'm so rageful. Surely I'd have like calmed down in the last 3 weeks.
I don't. Yeah.
Oh, you were pretty
it's a new
pissed.
story, so I guess everybody starts at 1, right?
Yeah.
So that makes sense. Is it 1 or 2?
Yeah.
I don't remember off the top of my head, but
I think
yeah.
it's 1. So I'll try to persuade this dude. I don't really care either way, so I'm not going to push it or, I'm just trying to, get this guy to engage in the social contract that we all take part in.
Yeah. No, I see what you mean.
Good roll.
Yeah, that is a good roll. Well, let's see. Bareback is a very composed people. He's gonna try to intimidate you with his gaze.
Intimidate me with his gaze. Okay, that's not very friendly.
Intimidation resolve. He's just staring at. He's a stare down basically, which fails miserably. So he takes 3 superficial willpower damage. Yeah, he's just kind of snarling a little bit.
He's again. This dude is starting shit. I very friendly came up and asked him a friendly question, and he's snarling at me.
Yeah,
Like,
I'm not saying he's nice.
Completely inappropriate.
Oh, absolutely.
Sir, do you have a problem with me? I mean, if you have a problem with me, perhaps we can settle it with a duel of words, or some sort of feat of skill. I have no idea why you're acting so angry. I mean, if you don't want to be at this party, the door is right there. No one's here by force.
He's gonna. Yeah, you have in fact persuaded him. So I guess he's leaving the mood.
I would be sarcastic. God damn. I can't believe I scared this dude away.
Yep.
He was the most... Okay, I'm just gonna go to talk to Fungi, so maybe I can get some conversation going with him.
That is
fucking
much
ass.
more likely. I mean, aside from the fact that you're both from the same tribe and everything. Since you've been doing that, what might Storm Speaker and True Strike have been up to?
I think the Storm Speaker is like this. This is a party. There'll be music going, and the Storm Speaker
Absolutely.
will try and get the DJ to play the record Andy Williams, "The Impossible Dream," and try and get everybody singing along to it because it is such a good werewolf anthem.
Okay. I see what you're doing. Being the Glasswalker Galliard. That makes sense. Let's go. Storm Speaker. Charisma performance, definitely. Is there any other Galliard here who might...
Look, either way, I'm going to join in, like probably dance and like sing with you.
It turns out Bareback was also a Galliard, but he's turned his bare back on
Genius
on
Galliard.
the Moot. Previous Galliard.
I've
Yeah.
actually, this gets me 7. So if I just take half, does that auto succeed?
Yes. Unless there is someone who contests it.
Why would anybody contest it?
I don't know. They might want to, put up their own. It's a competition. Who can do
Music,
the
okay.
most interesting and funniest and most memorable story for the Moot? This is your typical, werewolves always trying to one up each other. In other words, We're talking here about the... Where's that? Do-do-do. Not that.
Since I'm fat for willpower, I'll just roll it and I'll re-roll it if it doesn't go well.
So add a moot here. Do-do-do. Performing a moot rite. Do you even know any moot rites? You don't know any moot rites, do you?
I guess not.
Oh my god.
No,
This is a bit embarrassing, isn't it?
That's a bit more like it. 4 successes.
Okay. So... Because there will be a moot rite, obviously. You're all asked to participate in it. And let's see. You're gonna tell a good story at the moot, aren't you? Like, this is literally your job, Stormspeaker. So, what do we think? A good story is gonna be more than... Okay. Let's go in. Rule references here, routine actions, yada yada. Challenging, I think, is telling a good story at the moot, right? I think nearly impossible, 7 or more successes, is telling an epic that is entered into the silver record. Telling a true epic at a moot that is later retold by others. I think that's going to be like 5 or 6 successes, maybe? So... If you want to willpower that for the potential to impress all the other werewolves about the exploits by the Hellwalkers, this is your chance, Stormspeaker.
That was already has been willpowered up to 4 successes, but that was
you already
really
did
just,
it. Okay.
That was
Well-
to get everybody singing along to the Impossible Dream.
Okay, fair enough.
I could do another.
Yeah, there will be singing along to the Impossible Dream, I think. I'm going to count that as you know, a good story at the moot or something. Absolutely.
Yeah. I guess that brings it over to me.
It does.
All right, as a Geta Fenris, it is my Gaia/patron spirit given duty to not leave this party sober.
This is true.
I'm going to try and get my hands on the hardest shit they have here.
That is not going to be hard, because you know who's bringing hard shit here? I mean, the Bongnors themselves are going to bring whatever moonshine they make in the subways. And you being Garou, the risk of you going blind from it is much lower, isn't it?
Yeah.
Quarterback is obviously going to bring finer stuff, but it's still strong stuff. And he's going to bring, you know, he has a German heritage. He's bringing schnapps and anything he could have plundered from a liquor store associated to Germany. Lots of beer, very frothy, not American stuff, the original German stuff. He knows the channels to get this stuff, so it's foaming.
Jake will definitely be hanging out with quarterback then.
Get a Fenris Brotherhood, man, and he's gonna just thump you.
Hell yeah.
He might single you out for some competitions in strength and athletics because, you know, that's what we do. Let's go. The challenge has been issued. Oh, he's not gonna. This is serious stuff. He's gonna put all his might here. Are you gonna join the Garou football team?
Hell yeah. Wait, Oy.
Yeah.
If
He's
it's
organizing
football,
you know, he has the pigskin and everything. He's just like, hey,
If
everybody
it's
here.
football, I'm not familiar with football, but I know that there's a lot of running.
Oh
Could
yes,
I theoretically
absolutely.
use dexterity instead?
What was that? Dexterity? Yeah, sure. That would be you dodging other people trying to tackle you.
Yeah, and throwing the ball and shit.
Exactly. So
we
you're
ball.
the what is the guy throwing the ball in football? I don't know. Is it the quarterback?
And we
I don't
will be
remember.
pushing
Yes, it is the quarterback.
That is the quarterback. Okay.
the actual quarterback.
Yeah, because quarterback is not the actual quarterback. He's more like, I don't know, what is the guy who tackles people called?
Then why did you call yourself quarter?
because he's a big fan of football, and that's why he's called quarterback for whatever reason.
Understand your position.
He can
in the
tackle.
ball.
He can
It
throw the
wouldn't
ball
sound-
too. Look, he can throw the ball too.
It
It's
wouldn't
just
be-
that he's better at tackling. That's all.
Okay
Here,
then.
look at him. Look at him toss.
Would it have been weird if he'd given himself a name of a position in American football that doesn't immediately sound like American football, like if it was just called safety?
Yeah, or linebacker.
I mean, he's a linebacker, absolutely. I mean, you know, whatever you need from him, he is. I'm sorry, Jake. You are outcompeted by quarterback, and he's gonna be like, "I'm sure you are a great warrior, true strike, but this is my field." And he's just standing there like, "Yeah!" And he's getting, of course, all the accolades from all the other Garou.
Yeah,
who
you
are
ought to
howling.
catch me. You ought to catch me in the ring with some boxing gloves one day, quarterback.
I'm all for it. Let's go. But that's what would we call this? It's not like, you know, it's not telling a good story, but it is, you know, doing something fun at a moot, right?
Yeah, just having a bit of fun.
Exactly. We're having a bit
Getting
of
a bit
fun. We're just, you know, maintaining good relations and showing ourselves to be good sports people. I'm not sure that you're gonna get a whole lot of it out, but you know, maybe an honor, maybe a glory, because we're doing
Look,
a little
I'm
bit of roughhousing.
I'm mostly doing this because it's what Jake would do. You know, he'd have a bit of fun with it at a party.
Absolutely. And I mean, werewolves are competitive. They want to see who can jump the highest, who can sneak the sneakiest, who can tell the best story, who can. And this is probably also a moot when all of y'all's accomplishments from before are recognized properly in rites of recognition, which of course Mother Larissa will lead, right? So.
Turns out when you have an egalitarian warrior culture, it produces very competitive people.
It
Who knew?
does, which is not exactly what it is. I mean, it's not egalitarian in the strictest.
It's not an
Yeah.
egalitarian at all.
Meritocratic,
Yes,
I-
meritocratic is more like it. Yes.
which is honestly, I would say it's a lot more egalitarian than another system. You know, it's egalitarian in this that if you're competent, you can rise up the ranks.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's not the meaning of
Absolutely.
it, egalitarian, though. It's a whatchamacallit, a rule by the strong, and those who are strong
Right of
are...
accomplishment is what we call it. Yes.
Yeah.
So yeah, to do.
Plutocracy. That's what the werewolves do.
Huh?
I meant it more in the way that just like you could be born like a gutter rat and rise to the top through your own effort.
Yes.
That's what I meant to say. Just like
Most definitely. Quarterback. Yeah.
This is
there
the
we
sort
have
of
him.
battlefield promotion element.
Yes.
Don't die for long enough and you'll rise in the ranks.
Exactly. Well, that's the life of a Garou, isn't it?
It's like being in the mob, but slightly more dangerous.
Yes.
yeah, a mob combined with military, like special forces. That's really what it is. Mafia combined with like Navy SEALs.
I don't know if I would compare this to Mafia as such. That's more vampires.
Yeah, you're right. Not really mafia. It's just, yeah, honestly, I would say, like, kind of like, you know, military, a lot of it's kind of like frat shit anyway. So I guess, yeah,
Yes.
a lot closer to like special forces, pretty much.
It depends on what tribe you're in as well, I guess. Storm Speaker, did
Yeah.
you want to tell an epic story at the Moot about the accomplishments of this pack that you're a part of?
Yeah, we'll do. And since they did everybody singing along to the Andy Williams song, and that is uniquely werewolf appropriate because it has lyrics like "to fight the unbeatable foe."
Yeah, yeah, they're like,
Miles
yeah.
will spin the story of like sort of all the foul things we've bitten kind of that this is what the
Yes.
werewolf life is. To
I have
just
bitten
keep
this,
going through
that,
awful
and it
tasting things.
tasted horribly. Let's go. Charisma performance to tell the story in an epic way. That will gain you renown among your fellow Garou.
Alright. You know that one YouTube channel where they eat a bunch of spicy shit?
No,
No.
but
Really
okay.
gonna have to narrow that down.
Like the two guys with the beards, they try out the hot sauce and shit. You know the one.
Still gonna
No.
have to narrow it down because
Okay,
guys
fuck
with
all.
beards
Never
eating
mind.
spicy things is like a whole chunk of.
I tend to not
Well,
watch
you get the
channels
genre.
where
You
people
understand
eat
what
stuff.
I'm talking about.
Yes, that I get.
Yeah, I feel like werewolves would be really good at that genre because of all the vile shit they have to regularly bite into.
Probably. Miles Stormspeaker will tell an epic story. It's not good enough to enter the record, but it will be good enough to be retold again by other Garou, which is, something that's gonna actually get you more renown, isn't it? So, where did that go? It's gonna give you 2 glory, 1 honor, and 3 wisdom. I need to remember this. So I'm gonna update the renown tracker immediately. Yes, we're using the old V20 system for this because the new one is weird. In case you were wondering. 2 glory to Miles. And what was it? 1 honor. And then he gets some wisdom on top of everything else as well. You just upgraded your wisdom, so. Alright. Legendary Garou. That you are, aren't you already? How is this story going? Aside from you are chomping down on things that smell horribly. I mean, the Garou will absolutely, and you're when center of attention of this, when you tell them about how you stopped the literal attack at the cairn, and, Mother Larissa will come and she's gonna mark each of you with the rite of recognition as you are getting your honor and your glory and your wisdom. She will put the glyphs on you with her own claws, as it were, to mark the recognition you get. And you're marking a circle on the ground here in the brambles of the cairn with whatever happens to be at hand. This is the bone gnawers. You don't do things with particular salts or powders or what have you. Basically, I think a bunch of bone gnawers are going to mark the circle with some cheap beer that they just pour out, and possibly a ring of bottle caps as well, maybe a loop of knotted shoelaces to top it off. And then someone, a bone or Galliard, will start with a trash lid drum, and someone else has taken a shopping cart and turned it upside down to turn it into an altar. And they're calling the spirits to pay attention to this and pay attention, pay heed, listen to us, spirits of the city. We ain't pretty, we ain't rich, but we're here. Come witness. The offering here won't be diamonds or anything finery like that maybe the Silver Fangs or the Shadow Lords would produce, but it's going to be a bite of real food when everyone is hungry, and a borrowed thing that will be returned. How about giving someone a really warm coat? Right?
I guess yeah.
Yeah, because you have kinfolk. They're freezing. It's December, dang it.
Yeah, I
And-
think Jake will take off the denim jacket.
And a cigarette snapped in half and it's shared. Ain't like we're gonna die from cancer. or would even Garou smoke? I have no idea.
I don't think they do.
I feel like
that
cigarettes
seems
are the
like
way,
bad for the
aren't they?
environment.
Huh? Both people spoke at once. What?
I feel like cigarettes might be of the worm because of all the lung cancer it brings.
Yeah. That
On
sounds
the other
like worm
hand,
to me.
you have tribal uses of tobacco that are sacred.
Hold on. Like the Native American werewolf tribes use it, so it's not directly of the worm. It just, yeah.
But it has to
But
be
like
used
a
in the right
cigarette
way.
is
I think it's
tobacco
the
isn't.
I think it's the abuse of tobacco, like cigarettes. Like
Yeah.
cigarettes are of the worm, but not tobacco itself.
No, so tobacco is a gift from Gaia, like everything else that's of nature.
Yeah.
But-
Tobacco is a gift from Gaia. Cigarettes are of the worm. Yeah.
So
Yes.
it's going to be, instead of, because this is bone gnawers who are hosting the ritual, it's not going to be a cigarette. It's going to be like one of those sea foam pipes, that sailors use.
All right.
Because
I
they're,
thought you were going to say Rizzlers for a second.
because
but-
they're cheap, and it's the kind of pipe that our kinfolk must have used when they crossed the oceans together, because they were sailing before the mast and everything. And maybe this particular pipe is like 100 years old and came on a ship, and that can be used to mark the ritual smoke that is needed. And also something that represents surviving, maybe a dog tag or a metro card. And Mother Larissa will say to, as the offering is being done, we can pay what we can, we pay what matters. And as this rite is continuing, 3 kinds of witnesses will get the floor. Packmates. And the bone gnawers here will expect you to, they don't do long speeches. They just want to see you witness to what happened. And this is, of course, where our good friend Stormspeaker will come up and say his piece, right? And speak about everything that tasted horrible. I think that's kind of what really works for the bone gnawers here, Stormspeaker, is that you are translating the story of the pack's accomplishments not only as glorious deeds and we protected Gaia and we protected Cairn, which all of which you did, but you talk about it as all the things that tasted horribly, which is something that bone gnawers can just relate to so hard. And I think there would be some bone gnawers wondering, why is this guy a glasswalker? He should have. Why wasn't he picked up by our tribe?
Yeah. Also, then there's Jake and his whole thing. Man, these are the most bone gnawer non-bone gnawers. You know what I mean?
Yes, they are. Is there a tribal friendship merit somewhere in Werewolf the Apocalypse nowadays?
I don't think.
If there is
might have
one,
been-
I feel like the next purchase Jake would get is that one for the bone gnawers.
Right? Because you are just that close to each other now. I know there was in older editions, there was a tribal friendship, so...
Yeah, but I was looking at the merits and flaws for 5th edition. Unless they're in a different book, the list is, way down,
Yeah, I know.
If Jake survives to the Cult of Fenris era, then he is definitely joining the Bone Gnawers.
So if he survives the literal apocalypse that's between then and now.
But you get what I'm saying, though, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I get what you're saying, but I'm just saying, that's like saying, if Anne Frank survives the Holocaust, she'll be, on a good footing last time.
Crazy comparison, but whatever.
Anyway, yeah. There aren't as many, and I can't see any tribal friendship thing here. No. Anyway, but I can see how that was. So yeah, you know what? We need to have someone from the community who speaks up, because you did your thing. Stormspeaker speaks his truth about what happened, and who would be someone you protected who would speak up at the Moot here? The only one you directly protected was Shadowpad. This is 3 weeks later. She might just be here. Or did you send her off to Valkenburg as well? I don't remember.
I think we did at the end.
Yeah, you did.
We were.
Yeah, so she's not here then. But I think Mother Larissa will step up as the one of those you protected, and speak to your protection and speak to, yes, this pack has only been serving Gaia as a pack for near a year now. And look what you've accomplished in this short time. This is the kind of thing that makes me have hopes for the future. And she is not going to keep herself from pinching Skidders' cheek. Because...
Oh my god, I am so going to challenge her for the leadership.
Yeah.
It's just going to happen.
You'll try.
Yeah.
Well, I can't challenge her, you know. Is it peacetime, Mikhail? Is it peacetime right now?
It is peacetime, yeah. Officially.
That means I can challenge her.
Oh my god.
Well, eventually.
Eventually. Well,
Ragabash.
and then the spirits will come and pay witness to you as well of what you've done. And that is going to be, I think, Scratch, an Optinode. So there's going to be a big, like on a screen, Optinode is going to write down what has happened, like with a cursor, and the letters forms after the cursor, and you're going to hear the computerized little as the cursor is moving across, because we want to have our old-fashioned technology, and Optinode is maybe a little bit traditional in some ways. So everybody will have to read the printout, I guess. Or Optinode speaks with a very synthesized voice. What gender might it be?
Neutral.
Yeah, neutral. Yeah.
Neutral. Okay.
Yeah, like, Optinode gives off major genders some fucking wild shit.
Okay.
We grew up in this bitch. We don't believe in gender. We believe in the web.
They caught the wayward one. They caught the wayward one. Something like that. They caught the wayward one. The wayward one was returned to the safety of the nation. Yeah, Mother Larissa will name your deeds in Bongnor language. You found the lost one. He was all out there trying to whip up trouble. He led the street gangs astray, tried to get them to attack us. But then you just put down that guy and sent him back to where he could get proper treatment and be healed yet again. And that, my friends, she's gonna put, point to all the other Garou. There's like dozens of them listening here. That is a real deal, my friends, because it's easy to destroy. It's easy to kill. True Strike knows that better than anyone, huh? And now she pinches your cheek.
And True Strike has like a smug smile on his face.
But yeah, you did it. You solved the problem without becoming monsters. And then you're going to get the marks. Yeah. A smear of grease across the brow. It's a street crown. A bite of burnt meat. Actually, it looks like old cheeseburger. Remember the cost? A knot tied into your bracelet. You're bound to the people. A shallow scratch on the palm that you press to the ground. You bled for this place. And then finish with a proper communal howl.
Alright, am I the only player who's gonna do that? Okay, fuck all of you.
What?
Nobody else in the... Man, whatever. None of the other players howling. Whatever.
No,
Don't
that
act
was,
like-
that was me
Give us
putting
an
on the
extra
howl
page.
of the machine.
Yeah, I know, and I was howling as a player, like...
Oh, okay. Howl!
Don't act like... Exactly. Don't act like you're too cool. You're playing make-believe, motherfucker.
Exactly.
Since we're howling, does that give us an extra rage?
Yes. Yes, it does.
We raging. We do be angry.
This is a night of... You know what? It's actually a full moon this night.
I just realized something.
What did you realize?
I was looking at Rites,
Uh-huh.
and some of them are decent.
Well,
Anyway.
well, the bone gnawers are all... I mean, half of the cairn is like bone gnawers or glasswalkers. So there's a lot of glasswalker representation too, right?
Yeah.
And they might be... They're the ones who are bringing the machines, like the boombox, the generator. I don't know if we want to have a generator running on gas though, because yeah,
It's
And-
like solar powered.
yeah, yeah, solar powered, but then you need batteries to it, right? So, but I'm sure
No,
they
you
can
don't.
rig something.
You can build like a catalytic converter. Or no, not a catalytic converter. Like a old, like Victorian era that works off like acid reaction battery.
Exactly. Yes, let's do that.
Although, since this is also bone tech, probably just a bunch of shopping carts full of old car batteries wired together.
As well, yeah.
Also an option.
Fungi, as this whole ritual of recognition is coming to a close, he's going to go like, yeah, congratulations! You're officially promoted from problem to our problem. That's how you know we love you. Everybody laughs.
I
Yeah.
pointedly
Yeah.
don't.
True Strike is also chuckling at what the guy said.
Fungi is nothing if not your local Ragabash. It's his job to lighten the mood.
Exactly.
He could have tried better. Actually, I will go over and say that to him.
Oh!
Oh no.
Oh yeah?
Oh yeah, actually. Oh yes. Yes, absolutely.
I'm also a Ragabash, so it's okay for me to break his balls about how bad
It
it is
is,
at breaking balls.
absolutely. So who is gonna have the
What?
most
What?
fun here? Okay, we have a joke off here. We have 3 Ragabash who are going to try their level best at making funny jokes and getting we have it's a joke off here. We have stand-up comedy,
It's kind of
Garou style.
It's like more like insult off.
insult. That's fine too, absolutely. So Fungi, Skidders, and Hundo. All 3 happen to be yours, by the way. Okay, so Fungi is gonna try to do some kind... Okay, his performance is terrible. And his charisma sucks too, so I guess he's
What
gonna
the
lose
hell
this
kind of
one.
Ragabash is this dude? No wonder he's always hanging around the cairn doing nothing.
No, he does other things. But this he's not good at, so... He loses. Fungi does not make anyone laugh. So this represents his ability to make people laugh. I'm always shit at making jokes anyway, he says, and just walks away. Where do we have... There we go. You know your old friend Hundo Chunder? He's actually a little bit higher rank. He's like rank 3 in the old system. So yeah, he can make some jokes. Let's see if he can make a better joke than Fungi can do, right?
He can't make a worse joke.
It's hard to make a worse joke. You're not wrong. He's a bit wall-eyed, so his eyes are going every which way. And
he does look like he's just seen a 6th-dimensional demon.
That is kind of what he looks like, yes. Let's go. He's gonna crack a joke here and make people laugh, and he's gonna spend willpower to do it if he needs to. 4 successes! And we're spending a willpower to do it, but it didn't work. So 4 successes. There will be some laughs. It's not the best laugh anybody has ever heard, but it's some laughs. I can't crack a joke on the top, just from, the top of my head, because I'm not that witty. You might have noticed. But, yeah. So, Skidders, can you take out the others in being a good, jokey Ragabash type of guy? What is your performance and charisma?
Well, my charisma is high, but I don't... Can I use something besides... Can I use Streetwise to do, like, sarcastic street jokes?
No, this is performance. You're standing... There's never been any more performance-y thing than this performance, because you're standing in front of everybody. This is the performiest thing you could possibly do.
Okay. I was just trying... I literally have nearly every social skill except performance and expression.
Yeah, you'll get it sooner or later. You'll get it.
Yeah. Okay, I'll try just off my Witcher. Which are
Let's
just
go.
2 dice. Which,
I
whatever.
think Hundo might win the
Hundo
burn
might win, but
party. Is this a burning? Are we just burning each other?
Yes, that's what I said. An insult off.
Yeah.
Give me 2 seconds, because I had what I was going to say about Fungi, but now I've lost it. Where is it? Damn it. Never mind, I'll have to go off the top of the dome. I'll say... Fungi has his nose so up Mother Larissa's ass. He's her Adam apple. He's her Adam's apple. That's an insult and a joke at the same time.
I guess it is. How well are you presenting this?
Whoa, 4 dice on a 2 dice roll? What's happening?
How many successes?
How many successes can we get? Wits
5
and
billion
performance.
successes.
You can get 5 successes on this one if you just roll 2 10s. And then you win the whole thing.
Okay, what's the chance of me winning 2 10s? Not very much. But we'll see. 1 of each, and we'll see what happens. No,
Why do you only have
it didn't
2
come off
dice?
better. What?
Why do you only have 2
Yeah,
dice?
because I only have wits. I have 2 dice, and I've no performance, and wits isn't my best. Like if you say charisma,
you can use charisma.
Oh right, I thought you said wits. Okay, I'll try charisma.
Yeah.
Because I thought it was wits because I was coming up with the joke on the fly.
I mean, you are, but it's also, stage presence and so on. You're standing in front of people, so I'll allow you to use charisma.
Okay. I guess that's because I'm also using performance, so I'm kind of performing this show, which is about how Fungi's a kiss ass.
Yes. Well, it's 2 successes, which is definitely more than what Fungi got, so there's going to be some laughs, a couple of chuckles in the audience, and Fungi is going to be like, fuck you.
Hey! He's the one that started this insulting me off. Don't come to the table unless you're ready to play.
Fungi was like...
Fungi.
Huh?
What?
I agree.
What was that?
I agree.
You were saying a sentence and then you just ended it like.
Oh
No, I
did
just said how.
Yeah, I'm good at that. Maybe. Who knows?
Oh, Mikhail, yeah. Oh, yeah. You just said nothing, and I was like, I agree.
Yeah, it can happen.
Whatever it was, I agree completely.
Whatever it was, I agree completely. Yes, we all agree completely. That's great. Yeah.
Absolutely. Of course. What are you, a communist?
I don't know. Yes, maybe. Revolution to the masses. Anyway.
Yeah. Kill all people.
Yeah,
that were fired at
Fungi's tried to do some same lame burns here. Fungi's gonna stand up there and say, Hundo, buddy, you're like a campfire, loud, smoky, and if you get too close, you start making people cry. And nobody's laughing. And then Fungi is looking at Skidders, like, Skidders, you're like a spider because you skitter, and also you're scary. Boom, got you. And now everybody's laughing, but not because he said something that was a good burn against Skidders, but rather because Fungi's attempt was so lame. So they're more laughing at Fungi than they are at Skidders. Hundo is gonna because he's actually the one who's getting, he's winning this one. Fungi, you talk like you're paid per word. If wisdom was edible, you'd starve, but you'd still be doing stand-up about it. Skidders, I respect your paranoia, truly, it's inspirational. If fear were a gift, you'd be the highest rank. But you don't need to check the Umbra every 5 seconds. The Umbra is not texting you,
Well, people make texting jokes in 1999.
It's 1991.
Yeah,
oh, yeah, it's 1991, so you can't text. Okay. You can't...
I like he does actually say that, and True's like, what the fuck is texting?
No, he's saying you can't send, mail... those fancy electronic mails you all speak about. Because those exist. Anyway, a lot of bone doors will think this is absolutely hilarious, and maybe some glasswalkers too. So, yeah, because he had 4 successes, so there. Hundo wins the burn-off. Does that mean all your characters have done some kind of competition in this? I think so, right?
Yep.
Good for you. Well, this is not only a place for competitions and for, measuring each other. This is also a place for getting news. And, I mean, you...
When you said that, getting news, I just misheard that as getting nudes.
It could be. If you just take some pictures of Bareback, you will definitely be getting news. Also... Nobody said that Garou can't, romance each other. I think in 5th edition, they have lifted the ban on that entirely.
Yeah, because Metis don't exist anymore.
Yeah, they axed the Metis, which was probably a good idea, honestly.
But they still should have, kept the rule. They could have been, in Forsaken, where if 2 Garou have sex, Metis isn't born, but, a pure... evil being of spirit, that just isn't a good time.
That could have been an interesting alternative, but they didn't go with that either. I don't think they have any comments on Garou mating with Garou at all in 5th edition. It's just going to be another Garou, I guess.
It's so weird.
Yeah. I don't know why they axed
Fact,
the stigma
5th
entirely.
edition was actually written by Silverfangs. They actually are pro-incest.
Yeah, right? Yeah. I thought it was an interesting sort of dimension that, you could... Having romance with another full-blooded Garou has bad metaphysical consequences. It doesn't have to be the Métis thing, it doesn't have to be that, but it could have been something else. Maybe, Werewolf who goes insane and dances the Black Spiral immediately, and then you have to... how tragic would it be if you have to hunt down your child and stuff like that? But I don't know. They didn't do that, so here we are. But yeah, some news from across New York City. Mother Larissa will speak about how she's been shoring up the cairn spiritual defenses. Well, a lot of things have been afoot over the last year. This is a winter solstice festival, so she can speak about the last 6 months, because, you know, summer solstice, winter solstice, or the equinoxes. I guess you can have 4 moots like this that are dependent on, you know, where the Earth is compared to. But because it's so close to New Year's, you know, reflecting on the whole year. And it's, I have to say, folks, the city is a bit of a fever. And you don't cure a fever by punching the thermometer. I have been talking to the spirits. No, boy, you don't. She says. She laughs at you a little bit. There have been some minor spirits. They've been panicked, certainly after what happened at a certain restaurant we shouldn't name. And then she kind of glares at the Hailwalkers. Because even though you did excellent with Masters, the whole veil thing at Palfrey's was...
Oh, is she still blaming you for... Oh
no,
my god, I'm
she's
going to murder
she's,
that woman. I'm just going to murder
just
her.
wants you to, you know, have cleaned it up properly. Was it cleaned up properly? I don't know. Landingham was still asking questions.
The second she looks at our direction, I just, like, kind of, like, look away, like...
And I've been sending runners to check every thin spot around the park where the gauntlet feels brittle. We should avoid flashy revenge, and we should instead, when it comes to working against the worm, hit logistics, fuel depots, waste transfer stations, paper trails, bribe networks, that sort of thing. And I think you all are already working somewhat along those lines, which is a good thing. I'm very pleased to say that the Hailwalkers have done great service this year to the cairn, and particularly the retrieval of Masters before he could cause mass destruction across the city is, well, it means that their recognition tonight is well deserved. Yes, I'm repeating myself, but it's worth it. And she's now winking at Skidders.
Skidders is glaring at her because he's done with this woman's BS. He really is, like, at this stage. He's annoyed. He's actively annoyed with her. He's like, oh my god, we're in an apocalyptic war and our leader is 50% crazy.
That would be the silver.
I stop at 50%.
What?
I stop at only 50% crazy.
He doesn't. That's what his opinion is right now.
I'm thinking more 60%, but anyway.
So that was basically Mother Larissa's take on the whole thing. Hundo has been doing some things too. Well, I've been in my pack. I pride ourselves on the fact that we get things done. We've been organizing scouts in the subways and rooftops, leaning on punks, squats, bodega owners to spot suspicious truck routes, and new security around industrial sites. In my pack, we don't need prophecies as much as we need bolt cutters. We need a counter heat plan, too. I mean, your Winnebago, and he's looking towards Storm Speaker, is burned. We need to fix that somehow. We need to do some misdirection, get some fall guys that aren't Garou. But I'm afraid that cops have your features down by now. So you might want to think about that. Do you need help with that in any way? Maybe
I think
talk to glasswalkers. Maybe hack the.
Yeah, the glasswalkers in our pack could probably deal with it. But thanks for the offer, Mr. Hundo. You're very helpful.
He is just gonna nod. Yeah. Just make sure it's fixed, right?
Yeah.
Well, we have others. Fungi, he's been doing stuff too. You know, he's not just completely worthless and hanging around. You say he's worthless? He's not.
I didn't say shit. What the hell are you talking
it's
about?
Skidders.
And as part of the joke, I just said he just hangs around the cairn and
He does.
You know,
he does.
licks ass.
Well, you know, everybody lies in their own way. The trick is noticing what they lie about, and I've been out in the streets doing some recon, slipping into places where no one watches, maintenance corridors, service entrances, staff smoking areas, just checking out who's paid off and who's scared, you know? And picked up some interesting repeating rumor from city folk. There's a... Well, let's just say that the Freddys... They're still around, but right now they're fighting for who's going to take over. Cause, yeah, and I think they've been traumatized by. Apparently, they saw some shit. Let's just say, and half of them, yeah, they don't speak about that night much.
Do you know, have they moved their base, or where their new base?
Yeah, they definitely moved their base. Do
you know where it is?
Yeah, I kind of do.
Okay, maybe you can tell me afterwards, because I don't like the fact that they're still active. Maybe we can talk to them.
A lot of them just left. You know, it's like half the size now.
Half. Well, that's a good beginning, as they say.
That would be one hell of a scared straight program.
Exactly.
For real. I'm gonna join a game.
I
your
saw
entire leadership
shit.
is
I
the
don't
most-
remember what I saw, but it was horrible. I mean,
You see on the
technically,
news,
you
our
kind of...
entire leadership got turned into fucking mush, dude.
Did you
Well,
guys?
a couple of leaders got away.
Did you
that guy
guys
with the
break
wrench.
the veil by charging in there? It's
No, they
obvious-
only knew werewolves existed. They were going to attack the cairn.
Fair enough.
And they had silver and all that.
We
but I
protected
don't
the
think they-
Veil War by,
Yeah, by stopping them from attacking the cairn, definitely.
Yeah, exactly. So overall, we protected the Veil.
Well, Spotlight is, of course, your local Red Talon Arun. And he's not one for storytelling. Also, he is not one... I mean, a Red Talon called Spotlight is a little bit weird in itself, right?
For real.
But that's because he's stuck here in Central Park. He can't get anywhere. He can't really leave. I mean, he could go through the Moon Bridge, I guess, at any point, but...
Yeah, or, turn into human form and
Ah!
to
Ugh.
any place.
Ugh. Are you suggesting that to him? His hackles
Well,
would
if
just
he
go
asks
straight
me
up.
about how ways to get out of the cairn.
No, he's not going to ask you about the ways to get it. You're weird bipedal, human-smelling thing.
I'm a werewolf. Certainly he knows I'm a werewolf for the fact that I'm here.
All right.
Yeah,
I don't
you're,
think
you're too
it's not like-
human for his taste.
Is
Alright.
who is Spotlight talking to? All of us, or just?
Yeah, no, he's
Skidders?
just reporting, and he has the job of actually protecting the cairn, like the Bond. He's being promoted to that level, so he's the one. He doesn't leave Central Park much. He just walks around in Central Park protecting your cairn, and he's been doing that. He's been patrolling the park edges, and like it's a living map, watching where the weaver's pattern are tightening and where the worm stink is pooling, and he's growls like the city has currents. Swim wrong and drown.
For real. For real.
Something is herding Banes along paths at night. It's not random. It's not like the pattering of rain. It's like they make paths, like the deer make paths in the woods. They make paths among the spider webs.
Like a canal of bullshit. That's what we're talking about here.
Yeah.
Huh. Guess we ought to find that.
Mr. Spotlight, sir, while you've been patrolling, have you seen any of the Freddys in Central Park?
No.
Thank you. You're very kind.
Well, I saw 5. They ran really fast after I saw them.
You're exceedingly helpful.
Stonespeaker will ask him where, if we can narrow down where the Banes are coming from or where they're going to along the channels.
Shade, you're a local Shadow Lord. Zachary. He's, dressed in Armani suit with shades, according, as befits his name. And
Type of shit that's more expensive than like Jake's old home.
yeah, absolutely. I mean, his shoes are I think Shade has some problems walking around here because there's a lot of mud, and his shoes are, I mean, you can literally see the shine on the shoes. Like, if you look, if this was previous editions, you might have been able to use his shoes as a focus to step sideways because they're so shiny.
Staying that well dressed in Bonar territory is crazy work.
Well, that's just how he.
I'm not insulting him. I'm like, I'm not meant as an insult. It's just like, wow, that's impressive.
Well, he's
And
going to
Jake
basically say that, we've heard a lot of stories tonight. We've heard of the exploits of the Hellwalkers, and you have my respects. You've done some really good things for the cairn, for Gaia. I feel the spirits are pleased. Gaia loves her children when they do the type of work that you do. You've done Gaia's work. But the work doesn't end there, does it? Your enemies, and this goes for all of you, he's just looking around the whole cairn here. They don't really fear your claws. What they do fear is your coalitions. What we need, of course, is coherence, coordination. We need to hit them in an organized fashion.
Jake raises his bottle and says, "Speaking the truth, brother."
He nods. He nods in acknowledging your
Commissar, have this man executed for treason!
treason
And heresy.
to Sigmar.
Yeah, mostly the heresy, but also treason.
Anyway, we managed to get the stream back up. Yay!
Turns out. Jan
Okay,
is,
so Shade was talking about how your enemies don't fear your claws; they fear your coalitions. And he says that there were people critiquing the situation at Palfrey's, and we shouldn't ignore things like that. But we could use the fallout to force cooperation from some reluctant allies, people who might not be part of this cairn, but are still part of the Garou nation. Because if they're coming for any of us, they're coming for all of us, right? And perhaps we can even bend some of the spirits to our side, using the Palfrey situation for that. So I've been working on that. That's what I've been working on. And that's all I have to say about that. He is not the final speaker of this moot. Cleon, the Glasswalker leader, who is technically not part of the cairn, but turns up for moots anyway because, he wants the Glasswalkers to be in tune with what you guys do and make sure that, organization exists, as it were. So he's going to say that he's been keeping the Sept's mortal-facing life from being compromised by any of the past deeds from any of the packs that have potentially disrupted any Veils. And I mean, there's more packs than the Hellwalkers here. There's like 10 other packs, right? So he's not blaming you guys for anything right now. Maybe he's blaming the Dark Runners for messing up the situation with Masters. Though you can't speak too ill of the dead either, right? So there's that. But he's been
Yes,
smoothing
you
over...
can blame everything on the dead guys.
That's,
They aren't around to defend themselves, so you can blame everything on
that's
them.
exactly why it's not cool.
I'm probably something along the lines of like the smoothest way to say it is just shit was bad in a general way.
Yep.
Just to say that.
So yeah, I've arranged some safe houses. I've handled who's knows what after public incidents and just quietly setting up burnable identities. Winning is great, he says, but not getting subpoenaed or indicted is better. I'm chasing a paper trail now that points to some security contractors cycling between job sites. It's a classic Pentex adjacent move. But I'm gonna need someone unburned to verify at some point, yeah. The general sensation of the Moot is that everybody's pretty spooked by what happened at Palfrey's, but the priority is containing the story, control the witnesses, move safe houses, pick the next fight very carefully. And the general cairn focus is still industrial pollution and corporate fronts. Waste route, security firms, bribed inspectors, the spiritual rot that follows. So yeah, that's basically the Moot.
Are there any children of Gaia at this?
No children of Gaia in this cairn. There are... Let's see now. Let me have a look again. Ah! I need to remember. Where did I put it? Oh, right. It's... There we go. Okay, so... It's gonna take a while for me to scroll through. Let's go. I need to get to... Sorry. I'm just going through my documents here. Here we go. Child of Gaia in the Central Park cairn. Not really. Do we have... So, it's gonna be in New York, there are Children of Gaia, but it's not, you know, in the city itself. So, let's see. We have... really not many around. Oh, right. You know who was the child of Gaia in New York City?
Oh.
Shadowpad?
Yeah, Shadowpad.
Oh. Oh, well.
So, that's a bit sad.
I guess that Miles will be talking to the other glasswalkers about the possibility to how to clean up the business with the Winnebago.
Right. Yeah, Cleon definitely wants to get that done. But I have a feeling there's a bunch of you who wants to get that done. So, and let's see. What do we need to do that? Like, there are several different ways to clean up the Winnebago, isn't there? There's crafts to just, I don't know, change its outward appearance, working on the chassis, working on, you know, changing its profile look. And then there is the part where you, I don't know, switch out an engine, switch out the VIN number. I feel like Optinode can't really do much about physical things in the physical world, but your good friend Miranda can do things about VIN numbers and whatnot, right?
And there's also the other possibility of doing something to the police records, so they
Yes.
either they're not looking for it anymore, or even if it's like registered as a like don't go anywhere near this vehicle kind of thing, like how they warn them off their undercover operations.
Yes. So, okay, she's gonna need to have more successes on that, definitely. Well, 3 successes is not gonna be enough to do anything impressive. I think she's still working on the whole thing. Cleon, he might be able to help you. Boom, Cleon. He has a bit of technology. He has some... He's actually not that good with this stuff either. It's gonna come down to Stormspeaker himself, because you have all the crafts, don't you?
I got 2 craft.
You only have 2 craft. Okay. For now, your vehicle is still hot, I'm gonna say. But you can start, you have craft, and you have a specialty in electronics, which is not gonna help you for rebuilding the vehicle. But you can at least start the process by rolling a dexterity craft, I think. You're gonna find the Winnebago. Is it still there? If I roll a 1, someone stole it. That was very close to a 1, but it wasn't a 1.
At like a what was the number?
Wow.
Oh,
that was just terrible.
oh wow, she's. So at that point, you might as well write down on the Winnebago. Yeah, we were the guys at such and such.
Yeah. She has a little bit of craft as well here, Themis. But
I might as well try myself. Fuck it. So we're using craft.
It's worth a willpower reroll. 2 possible successes.
What attribute are we using? Oh, dexterity.
Yeah. Because we're doing like this is metal crafting basically. You're body shopping this thing.
We're cooking.
We
cooking.
are
with gas.
cooking. Jake the True Strike Stromfeld. There we go.
Yeah, Jake has found perhaps his passion.
Maybe you're gonna be a car mechanic, aren't you? That's
Who knows?
what you're gonna be.
Who knows? You don't know. Only I know. But yeah, so I think Jake is definitely gonna all right, do like a crazy ass like a paint job on the thing, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe if Miles is okay with it, like a real badass black
the
orange.
paint
and
job
brown.
is Themis's piece. She does the graffiti.
I wouldn't hurt if I also did a little.
But she rolls like I do, so...
All right, let me cook here, Themis. Let me cook.
No! She is willpowering this. She is going to cook this Winnebago and make it look amazing. Did she? 3 successes! It's a basic painting that doesn't look like anything amazing.
Which is probably a good thing since we've got the very obscure for the safe house, which is the Winnebago.
Right. But, yeah, you need like 4 successes for this. Yeah, True Strikes is going to be a much better paint job. It's not an amazing paint job, but it is a paint job. It will make, you know, it means that it doesn't look like it did before. So that's something, I guess. And then we'll have Optinode go in and alter a bunch of files saying, you know, messing up all the descriptors for people, and possibly even changing the pictures of like any pictures that might have been taken of you. And by that I mean like security camera footage from any nearby locations, that sort of thing. So if there is anything that can, you know, recognize you, it's going to be changed. But when I roll like that, oh yeah, Optinode is boom, boom, boom. Yeah, okay. I think Optinode fails that attempt and runs into a bunch of firewalls and other things that will stop Optinode from doing it well. So Let's go with intelligence technology from Weave Walker here. She's definitely going to try as well. That's a better roll. You're trying to clean up after yourselves from Palfreys here. Well, that's still just 3 successes. Not good enough, I say, but it's a start.
If this was like a TV show, there would just be like a split screen with us trying to do stuff to sort of clean up like the database and stuff. And the camera, it would be a split screen, and the other side would just be a camera slowly zooming in on the covered up Winnebago with like anxiety inducing music just building up.
Good talk.
Good talk. Well, it is also, you know, holiday season. And is anyone gonna hang out with any of your touchstones?
Hell yeah.
Yeah, I'll hang out with Jane.
Let's go. I'm gonna add touchstones. That's what I'm gonna do. Shadowpad is gone. Very sad.
Sent to
Well,
the
she's
void.
not dead. She's just in, you know,
Sent to oblivion.
sent
She
to
no longer
oblivion.
exists.
Who sent her there, I wonder? Could it have
A
been
shame.
you?
Who knows? Damn.
Anytime we could hear that she managed to kill masters.
Yeah.
Again, at that point, that would not be our responsibility.
It really isn't, though, is it? Okay, so who are we gonna have a chat with? And who's gonna have a chat? True Strike. Are we talking to? I mean, the one, the only, the Lester?
Yeah,
Very well.
absolutely.
Why is he known as unknown here? That's weird. He's not unknown. He's Lester.
Exactly. Friendly old Lester can be definitely trusted. Who knows?
Yes, absolutely.
Not like I have any
There we
horrible plan, perhaps, for him. Who knows?
Yeah, how you doing?
Good, Lester. How about you?
Well, you know, Christmas in New York. Best time of the year. Freeze your ass off. That's what you do.
Well,
Though I'm not gonna complain too much. You know, they Christmas in New York, people tend to be a little bit more generous. You know, easier to get a meal around here. That's something.
yeah. By the way, you hear? No, wait, never mind.
I hear what? I don't hear nothing. I don't know nothing. Well, unless it's for you, of course, Jake. You're a good one. You're one of the good ones. Yeah.
All right, out of character. I don't know why the fuck I completely froze up there. I think.
Very well. We can go over to the others.
I
fine
think.
with
Yeah.
that.
Sorry.
All right. So.
I feel like we might have more interesting things once I tell you the plan, Mikhail.
Oh no. Should I
great
be
plan.
scared?
A little bit.
Okay. Straw speaker. Who are you gonna talk to? Malone? I mean, he's gonna be curious about what happened to your radio, because you haven't been on air for a while. Or your repair guy. Straw speaker?
Yeah, where is the picture of the bad guy on here?
Mongrels. Hey, Bill.
What was that?
Sorry, my dogs are harassing me.
Oh,
Both of them.
the picture of the repair guy on the map?
There we go. He's here. He's here. Sorry. Fix it. That's what he's called, isn't it?
Or is it? Who knows?
It definitely is. He's on the map.
I think I'll go to Sai.
All right. Well, Sai, he's hanging out, doing his thing. Found the latest weed, I guess. And he's like, hey, how are you doing, Miles? I haven't seen you for weeks and weeks, man. What's going on with your life?
Man, just laying low. People saw something they shouldn't have seen, and now I've got to stay out of sight until we can get it straightened out.
Oh man,
How that goes.
sucks. Where's your radio at? I missed your show, man. I tune in all the time. We need you on the air, man. You tell some truths. That's what you do.
And the Miles is now thinking about getting his radio out of the Winnebago and possibly moving it to at least temporarily to fix its shop, just so if the Winnebago goes down, that doesn't go down with it. Yeah, we'll ask.
Are you telling him that?
No, he's just thinking of that. We'll ask like what's been going on in the sort of bohemian underworld of New York since he hasn't had a chance to do his rounds for a while. The stories from Greenwich Village.
Oh yeah, he's gonna regale you with all sorts of stuff. Well, I mean, it's been a little bit wild and a little bit calm, you know, ups and downs as it goes. Did you hear that freaky news coming out of Palfrey's? I'm telling you, organized crime in this city is just, you know, completely nuts. But on the other hand, if they had to hit a place, Palfrey's is kind of okay, you know. It wasn't a place with real people, you know, because all them, as far as I know, all those guys are like Wall Street sharks and whatnot. So it's a hard thing to say, right? Like nobody would miss them because they're destroying the planet and everything, the fuckers. But I mean, I don't wish death on anyone, but if anyone had to go, we could put up an order, and I think that could be a better way to sort things out, right? So maybe if these organized crime guys kill some Wall Street guys, then maybe us people who care about the planet can get to, you know, roll and not have so much heat on us, you know? So in that sense, it was great for us. Nobody's been harassing us about where we grow our weed for a while, you know what I'm saying?
You know how these things go. So betting all the Wall Street guys were fine, and it was just the Skidders who got killed.
Yeah, that sucks, man. My heart goes out for her, man. Wherever she is, that sucks. Yeah, they should have aimed for the Wall Street guys. That's what I say. But I guess it was some bodyguards. You know what's wrong with bodyguards like that? They're all jacked up on steroids, man. Put all sorts of poison in their bodies, and they go completely ape shit. So they can't. The trigger finger, they just, you know, hose the shit down. You can't trust them, man. Can't trust them. He says as if he knows anything about bodyguards.
Although he has probably been kicked out of plenty of places by bodyguards.
Yes, that is very likely indeed. That is very likely. All right, so who is Skidders going to have a chat with? Is it going to be...
It's going to be Jane.
Where did she go? I thought I had her here. Goatee.
Yeah, Jane.
She's known as
Since I've never
Goat.
caught that.
So it's in
On the
your
way,
hideout?
on the way, I'm going to get her a present. I'm gonna like lift some expensive jewelry or something.
Oh, nice. Yeah, go ahead and roll for that. Why don't we?
Can that just happen? I have like.
Okay,
Dex
that
plus-
happens. You have all the larceny, you have all the dice.
Yeah.
That is actually.
You just turn up there, like open up a safe deposit box, and it's just full of diamonds.
Right? So you're gonna deliver the diamonds to her?
Yeah, as a
she's-
present, you know, for Christmas.
Yeah, it's a Christmas gift. And she's gonna be like, oh, you shouldn't have. Actually, you should definitely have.
Well, you know, Christmas is a time for like indulging. I thought you'd look even better than you usually did with these diamonds.
I'll definitely look better with this on. She's gonna have that big smile saying, you're gonna get laid tonight.
Sorry.
Player choked.
He wasn't ready.
No,
No,
he wasn't ready.
I something got caught in my throat.
Replicating the spiritually virgin allegations.
I lost my. Oh, how about the two of us go out to have a meal somewhere?
Yeah, sure. Where do you want to go? I mean,
Well-
all the restaurants are packed because it's that season, but where do you want to go?
It's up to you, darling.
What's a fancy restaurant in New York? In New
Because of
York
his
City.
organized crime association, would he want to go to like places famous in mafia history, like Sparks Steakhouse that Paul Castellano was executed outside of?
Right. She was to go
Yeah.
to La Bernardine,
Okay,
renowned for its world-class seafood.
okay. I guess I'll.
The problem with that is that you will need to book like 6 months in advance.
I'll box.
But the other hand, you can fix that by having a chat with Weavewalker, who can send Optinode to fix the booking for you.
Yeah, I'll do that.
Or you can sneak in at night. No, because it's 1991. They have a computerized booking system on a fancy restaurant. I feel like they do.
Okay. I guess I'll ask Weavewalker as a personal favor to do that.
It will be done. So when are you going to have this dinner?
Tonight,
Um,
right?
Tonight?
Yes, 21st? Or 22nd,
Oh,
or
okay,
whatever.
the 21st. Yeah, that makes sense. So on the evening of the 21st, that makes sense.
Isn't it the 21st now because we were having the solstice?
Yeah, but that was the 20th. The solstice is on the 20th. Or the 22nd, I
planet?
think. When is the solstice?
Solstice is
was
the 21st.
Solstice. Winter 1991. December 22nd, actually. Okay, so my bad. So you can go on the 23rd then, I guess.
Yeah, okay, we'll go 23rd.
Yeah. Excellent. Well, all of you, if you want to, can remove 1 rage for chatting with your touchstone. If you want to, it's an option. No.
I'm just keeping my 2.
Very well.
By the way, I have a question.
Do we get any willpower back for the touchstones?
You get... Oh, poor Jan. How's it going over there? You may
Damn, work on him bad.
Right?
This is just sort of simulating what Skidders' health is probably actually like.
Yeah, this is a picture of him because he's a werewolf. He looks sick, but he never actually gets sick.
You may restore
Oh.
or heal a point of aggravated willpower damage by spending a scene or period of downtime with a touchstone. That's in addition to standard willpower recovery. And you may spend a scene or period of downtime with a touchstone and move one mark on either side, on either the Harana or Haugloth tracker to the other.
Oh, so that's how you use Harana. You told me last week you couldn't.
You
can't
can't
remove
get
phase
rid of them, but you can move one from one tracker to another.
Yeah, like
Oh.
if I wanted to, I could switch my Hogloss to Harano and have 2 Harano points.
Exactly.
Wow.
So.
All right. Sorry, it wasn't the ball face one.
Anyway, shit, what was I gonna say?
I don't know.
Oh yeah, I have a question.
Yeah.
The idea is a real quick one, so I was just asking if maybe perhaps once the session is done and these 2 yahoos over here leave, if I could just tell you real quick in private.
Okay, that's weird, but whatever.
It's a real wacky idea, and I want it to be a surprise.
Okay, yeah, we'll
Oh
go
my
over that.
god.
But before
I
we get
hope-
to that, we have another wacky idea coming up, and this is on December 23rd in the morning. And
The worm better not get in the way of my date, that's all I'm saying.
It won't.
it definitely will. Yeah, Weave Walker is going to call you on whatever method you use to call each other, Skidders.
Carrier
Okay.
pigeon?
Probably
No,
not.
we established this.
Trained
about-
squirrels?
What we do is we ring like the
Pagers?
we ring the public payphones that are close to where we are, and then
Because you can't, you haven't spent any XP on it at least, right? So your companion is a 2-level companion,
what?
which has a host. The spirit doesn't. If the spirit doesn't have a physical host, communication with it is okay. So it does have a host. So you can. Okay, never mind then, because it has a host. So you can actually talk to Scratch, right?
Yes.
Okay, Scratch has some words for you.
Okay.
So
Go
we
for
don't have
Scratch.
to go with. Sorry, I thought that we didn't have a host for Scratch, but that's.
No, he's got a host and he's a companion.
What
So
was
he's
that?
the best kind.
Yes.
He's a
that's-
host and a companion.
I just need Scratch. Where are you, Scratch? There you are. Okay. Scratch. Scratch is the man, right? Of the hour. And as you're waking up this morning at your hideout in the abandoned subway station that you have furnished to be a lovely place for you and your girlfriend, she's still sleeping. What was that?
And Scratch.
Yes.
He's a
yes.
rat. He hardly gets to be.
And yes, he
Okay.
does watch you do the deed. Not for any sexual pleasure, but just because.
Jesus Christ. Okay. I'll try to forget about that because whatever. Let's move on with what Mikhail is trying to say.
It was cold, beady eyes.
Yeah, Scratch is coming up to you and waking you up, basically.
Frank, what is up?
Right.
What you want?
Shh. No big voices, no big names. And the tail is flicking back and forth. Names are hooks, and hooks catch fish, and fish get eaten. He's leaning in, his nose is twitching hard. I found something. I found a secret with teeth.
What did you find?
He's patching his chest with a tiny paw like a priest swearing an oath. And then he just ruins it by licking his paw and smoothing an ear. You remember the place you hurt them? The clean white hurting place? The one that smelled
Yes, the
like
hospital. Yes.
fear in a jar?
Yes.
Yeah, when you left, the air didn't forget. The walls didn't forget. The spirits don't forget. Rats? We never forget. and you can see the nose twitching a little bit. I was listening. Because that's what I do. I listen where nobody thinks ears can fit. He points to a claw, down with a claw. Like he's pointing through the stone into the city's guts. I followed the complaints. Little Banes whining like kicked dogs. The white place is burned, they said. The white place is black now. The pain farm is broken. The two legs are angry. He's gonna sound like he's gagging a bit. So much crying, so much blame, and then I heard orders. Not spoken like wolf speak, not shouted, not howled. Scratched. On things two legs use to scratch, to capture words to each other. They scratch them on so tasty papers, and then they carry the papers to each other, and the papers, they look at them and they understand the scratches. It's very strange. And he holds his paws apart like he's describing a fish this big. Letters. Words. Little dead things made of meaning. And now the whiskers quiver. It wasn't paper this time. Not really. Skin thin, greasy, like inside of a stomach. Ink that moves when you don't look straight at it. The words don't sit still, they crawl. He's just looking at you now. He's waiting for a reaction.
I'm not 100% understanding what you're saying. So, the hospital has been broken down and people are annoyed about it. Okay, I got that much. But what's happening now?
I watched the word carrier come.
Word carrier?
Yes.
Okay, what's a word carrier?
The word carrier who carries the skin thing, greasy thing with words on it.
A postman? Or a werewolf? Is this a Garou? The Black Spire Dancer?
No. It's a spirit.
Okay, spirit. Okay.
Yes. Okay. It's the word carrier spirit. Bane. Always a Bane.
Okay.
It came through the local stink places first. Places where the worm can breathe without coughing. Gas stations, drains, alleys, broken hospitals, abandoned stairwells. It met with helpers. Ears flattened. Okay. Not wolves. Not spirits like me. Meat things with something wrong inside them. The kind that smile when they're proud of being rotten.
Okay. So, and this is happening at the hospital, is it?
No. The spirits came from the hospital. They spoke with the meat things with something rotten in them. And then the meat things with something wrong inside them, they scratched words on the skin things. The skin pieces. And then those words, they get words from deep in the Umbra. Very deep. Very dark places. From Defiler Wyrm.
Okay, but where are these people who have something rotten inside them?
I don't know exactly, but I know where the word carrier goes.
Okay, where does that go?
It goes to a place in the Umbra. It's the Defiler, you see. They have to go from the close Umbra to the deep Umbra, where the sky has teeth, where directions don't behave, where even brave wolves get lost. And the word carrier go to the Defiler. The Defiler. Big worm. Old worm. Not a bane. Not a minion. No, an appetite with a mind.
That sounds extremely dangerous to go to the deep worm and confront it. Do you think we could interrupt this messenger? Would that do some damage?
Yes. The tail lashes once. Here's what you can do. He's gonna count on his claws. 1. You catch the word carrier before it reaches the throat. Once it goes through the throat, you're chasing it where I can't promise roads. Paths.
Okay.
2. You don't hunt it like prey. You ambush it. You jump it like a rat jumps on a very small bug. Pick at the choke place, the last stretch of the Umbra before the throat.
Okay.
Where the trail narrows and the air tastes like pennies.
Okay, so go
3.
to the throat place in the Umbra.
Yes.
And
then
set
you
an ambush.
And then you stop the words.
Okay.
Not later. Not after you see where it goes. The words are the point. The carrier is just legs. You can burn them, break them, cleanse them. But whatever you do, you have to do it fast. Those words are like worms. If they touch the wrong spirit, the spirit starts thinking worm thoughts. And it will not be alone, of course.
Okay. Thanks for the...
It will have hunters, warriors, eyes, ears. Things that want you to chase. Things that want you tired and bleeding when the word carrier comes to the throat. You have a little time, but not much. The word carrier travels on bad luck and shortcuts.
Okay.
I tell you where, I tell you when, and I even show you the smell trail, and taps his chest. And you give me something, a secret, from each of your pack. Something true, something you don't say out loud. His
Okay,
eyes
I can
shine.
give you a secret now. Let me think. Oh, do you know what those people with Down syndrome? I think they're creepy.
Is that a secret?
Yeah, I never told anybody that before.
Oh. Well, if you stop letters, the Defiler gets hungry. And hungry things look for new ways to speak. So are we doing this, or are we letting the...
Yeah, let's go. I guess Christmas is cancelled for a minute.
What's Christmas?
Never mind. How did a rat spirit not know what Christmas is? Come on. They
doesn't know
actually
the
invented
name,
it.
he just knows it as like the time when the humans get active and leave a bunch of trash everywhere to eat.
Yes.
The midwinter feast.
The big feast, the big food fest, the big food party.
I guess
Yeah.
I'll try to
There's
contact
two big
the
food
rest
parties in the year for Scratch Scratch. One is Thanksgiving and one is Christmas.
Yeah. And maybe also a little bit of Halloween, depending on.
Oh yeah, he'd like the rappers, definitely.
Yeah. A little bit of residue sweetness. Or, some picky kids.
Some picky kids. So,
Or, you drop a piece of candy on the floor and you're like, nope, we do not do 5-second rule because it's fucking New York and you're going to get AIDS from that.
New York, the healthiest place in the world. Right? Right. So, where's the pack going to meet up with these brilliant news?
Let's meet up at a Maccadee's.
At a what?
McDonald's.
Oh.
A
Going to a McDonald's? Isn't that like the Worm Fest hole?
Actually, come on. Like, it's a public place where a lot of people go. People won't notice us there. We could be in a library, but we can't talk there. So
How about a Waffle House, like God intended?
Okay, whatever.
What is that?
Wait, oh my God, you don't know what a Waffle House is?
Oh,
All right,
Waffle
then, hell
House,
yeah.
I know. I thought you said Lovell House.
Oh shit, my mic was bad. For a moment, I thought I was about to show you the Holy Land.
No, Waffle House, I know where it is.
All right, yeah.
There's a whole
you,
sort of mythology
disappointed
and
now?
family of jokes around Waffle House. Like that, it was a fight club that diversified into food service.
I mean, why not? All right, so
Suppose
we're all
that
gonna
you take the
Waffle House meant something else.
gather at a place. So I guess. Oh, Scratch is here too, isn't he?
Yeah.
And Optinode, but you
guess it's
can't
time
see
to tell some
Optinode because
secrets.
Optinode sits in Weave Walker's portable machine. But Scratch is in your pocket, isn't he?
He wants secrets in exchange for him helping us.
Yes, he does.
Is it okay if I, take him to the bathroom and tell the secret so that no one else hears?
Yeah, sure.
Absolutely.
All right. I take him to the bathroom and I say to him, sometimes at night, right before I'm about to sleep, I think to myself, what's even the point? That no matter what we do, we won't win.
Win! You will! You will win! Scratch is like,
Thanks for that.
Mighty Wolf.
And then afterwards, True Strike will head out with Scratch, hiding in a pocket or something.
Yeah. Store
And just
speaker,
say-
what kind of secret do you have to share with Scratch?
As well say, since I first became a werewolf, I've just been living both lives, my old life and my new Garou life. Since I've lost I can't use my Winnebago now. I keep telling myself, we'll just fix it, I'll get it back, and I can go back to living just the way I had been. But now I don't know if I will ever be able to go back. Or if I do go back, how long I'll be able to keep it up for, before something else happens that takes my old life away.
Scratch looks at you. And one of the paws will come up and kind of brush your mustache a little bit, and it's gonna grab a napkin from one of the dispensers and help you clean your glasses a bit. It'll be fine. You're a mighty wolf warrior. You inspire the others. Gaia trusts you.
Miles just nods slowly.
I don't know why, but it feels like this is the perfect place to pause the story, honestly.
Yeah, it feels pretty good.
Right? You can make decisions about how to get into the Umbra and hopefully not die horribly. And retrieve a message from that place. And
Love your Skaven voice. I can tell you've played a lot of Warhammer Fantasy.
I have not actually played a lot of Skaven.
Yeah, no. If he was, he'd do the Skaven think, which is where Scratch comes from, is that they end all their sentences with.
Yeah, but like I don't know, there was just something about it though, even without the repeating of words, that was very Skaven-like. I digged it. I really liked it.
We are going to raid Infinite Monkey Tales because they raided us last time.
It's raiding time.
Yeah, it's raiding time.
I am always quoting that one bit from Mountain Blade, because that game's goated.
Indeed. Thanks everybody for watching.
He hasn't even played in any trees.
And we will see you in a week when we'll see where these guys get lost in the Umbra. Boom. Raid.
I'll drink from your skull.
I don't drink from anybody's skull.
Oh, they're playing Star Trek on that channel. Awesome.